This is Brandon Dixon from 9B Plus. I wanted to give a quick overview of the PDF X-Ray API. Before I actually dive into the code that's shown on the screen, I wanted to give a reasoning behind the API, like why it's there. When I started this project, it was hard to come across malicious PDF samples, and when I did, I often had to go through a process of, sanitizing my environment, making sure I wasn't infecting anything, and trying to share some of my results in a format with other researchers quickly. These files come in all the time, and I need to look at them fast. I need to make a decision fast and pass on the useful information. So the API was born to solve some of those problems and to just make it so I could share the samples that I had in a nice way with all the end users. So when you actually query the API, what we're trying to do is give you as much information about the PDF as possible without actually sending over the sample. And the way we achieve this is by representing the PDF in a JSON format. So this helps us out twofold. First off, the JSON format's not likely to get interpreted and executed, meaning you're not likely to infect your machine. You don't have to worry about your environment as much. And the second part is that JSON is a great way to share information through web services. Other tools can consume the JSON. It doesn't really matter what programming language you're in. There's likely going to be some sort of JSON parser that you can take this information. So diving into the code right now, this is written in Python, and up top I've defined a function called makeRequest. And there's a couple parameters to this. The URL, obviously, pdfxray.com/API gives you some documentation on the methods available, along with the parameters that need to be passed. The only parameter in this case, because we're getting the full PDF representation, is the API key, which you would get by registering at pdfxray.com. Below that, we make the request, and then we get the response back and load it as JSON. So you'll see here that right below the loading of the response, I'm making a call to malObject class and creating an object from the actual results. So this class, also written in Python, is available for download, and it's a helper class more or less that automatically goes through and parses the JSON that you would typically receive from the API. And this helps out a lot because more often than not, you end up taking the JSON and wanting to query on it and run over the objects or over specific parts of the results. And the best way I found to do that is just through an object with properties available that you can use. So below that, we actually kind of implement the API and make use of the object. We have here a variable named PDF, and we call the makeRequest function with our MD5 hash of the sample that we want. We actually print out the MD5, and then below that we print out the malicious object. In this case, this file's object 57 is malicious, so as you can see here, I basically just for through all the objects. I check to see if the ID is equal to 57 for each object, and if it is, I print the decoded stream, assuming it's available, and then break out. So below this is just a quick dumping of the available methods and properties that you get within this object. And there's more documentation found online. There's a PyDoc that will actually cover all of the methods and properties within the malObject class that's available for download. So if we run the API, or run the caller for the API, we get back our information here. And this is just a very small portion of what we could get back. All objects are available, named calls are available, version information, anything you could think of within the PDF and that's available through the web interface is going to be available for query on the API. So you can see here that we have our file MD5 defined up top, and then here's our malicious object. So in this case, this is object 57, and we could see the raw decoded JavaScript that was present in the file. And then at the bottom here is you just go to quick dumping of the available methods and properties within this PDF object. So if you're interested in this, by all means, use the API. If you need any assistance, feel free to email us. And if you have any requests for more information, for different queries, for more advanced queries, feel free to send us a message, and we'll try to implement them as fast as possible. Thank you.